so softly on the window pane. Another night drowning in your name. I keep your picture by my bed, still hearing all the words you said. Time moves on, but I stay still, trying to find what I still feel. There's an empty side of me where your love used to breathe. Now the silence cuts so deep, and it steals my sleep. I smile when people look my way, but inside I slowly fade. Since you walked away from me, there's an empty side of me. Street lights blur as I drive alone. Every road just leads me home, and home's the place that hurts the most, filled with memories like ghosts. I thought love would stay forever. Now forever feels so far. There's an empty side of me, still begging you to see that I never stop believing you'd come back to me. But dreams don't always stay. Sometimes hearts just break, and all that's left to be is this empty side of me. This empty side of me. I still see your shadow in my room at night, dancing with the memories under broken lights. Every little promise turned to smoke and rain. Now I'm just a stranger calling out your name. And I know some stories never reach the end, but my heart still waits again. These are letters I never sent, words too heavy, feelings bent. Every page still holds a trace, like tears falling down the page. I keep writing in the dark, trying songs still feel the same, but the silence in this house keeps screaming your name. I pretend I'm fine when people ask about us, but deep inside I'm slowly turning into dust. Maybe one day I'll stop chasing ghosts. Maybe one night I'll finally let go. These are letters I never sent, all the love and my regret. If you ever read my soul, you would know I never let you go. Some loves end, but never really leave. The moonlight falls across the floor, but you don't live here anymore. Your sweater's still beside my chair, like part of you is everywhere. And every song we used to play now only hurts me more each day. It's another midnight without you, another sky without the moon. I'm wide awake just missing us, trying to heal from all the dust. Your goodbye still cuts right through every midnight without you. Friends say time will let me heal, but they don't know the way this feels. 'Cause every memory hits so hard, like broken pieces in the dark. Maybe love was just a lesson wrapped inside a beautiful pain. It's another midnight without you. stayed until it hurt, until loving you felt heavy, until every little silence started breaking something in me. I kept hoping for the old days, for the warmth we used to know, while your heart kept growing distant and mine refused to let go. You stopped reaching for my hand like you needed me before, and I kept standing in the doorway, trying to save what wasn't ours anymore. I confused holding on with fighting for love. I stayed until it hurt, until I barely knew myself. Kept pouring all my love into someone loving me less. I kept begging broken moments to feel alive again. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is sometimes the person hurting you is the one you still want in the end. I made excuses for your coldness, for every distant night, turned every little breadcrumb into proof we'd be alright. I shrank myself beside you, trying not to need too much, till I forgot love should never make you afraid to ask for love. You stayed because it was familiar. I stayed because I cared. That's the tragedy of heartbreak. Two people no longer standing there equally. I was still fighting for forever while you quietly gave up on us. I stayed until it hurt, until I barely knew myself. Kept pouring all my love into someone loving me less. I kept begging broken moments to feel alive again. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is sometimes the person hurting you is the one you still want in the end. Maybe some people stay too long because losing love feels terrifying, even when staying slowly destroys them from the inside. And maybe what still hurts the most is not that you stopped loving me, it's how long I kept abandoning myself just to keep you near me. I stayed until it hurt, but now I finally see love should never leave someone feeling this empty. Now I know real love feels safe, it doesn't slowly disappear. And the strongest thing I've ever learned is sometimes letting go is the beginning of healing. I stayed until it hurt, and it hurt for a long time. You felt different even before I knew why. There was distance in your laughter and goodbye behind your eyes. You still said you loved me, still stayed through the night, but your heart no longer held me the way it used to hold me tight. I noticed every little change, every silence in between, and somehow the person beside me didn't feel like you to me. My soul felt the shift before my mind could understand it. You felt different, like love was fading slow, like you were already somewhere else while standing close. I kept trying to bring back the version of you I knew, and the cruelest thing about heartbreak is watching someone change while still loving them completely. I made excuses for your distance, for every colder touch, turned every tiny moment into proof you still loved enough. I kept replaying old memories, trying to feel them again, but you can't force old feelings to return just because you miss them. You stopped looking at me like I was your safe place, and I kept searching for forever inside your unfamiliar face. I was still loving yesterday while you emotionally left today. You felt different, like love was fading slow, like you were already somewhere else while standing close. I kept trying to bring back the version of you I knew, and the cruelest thing about heartbreak is watching someone change while still loving them completely. Maybe people don't leave suddenly, maybe hearts drift little by little, till one person keeps holding on and the other quietly lets go. And maybe what still hurts the most is not just losing you, it's realizing the person I miss still looks exactly like you. You felt different, but now I finally know real love stays present. It doesn't slowly grow cold. Now I know my heart deserves a love that feels true, and the strongest thing I've ever learned is stop chasing old versions of people who already changed. You felt different, and I felt us fading away. You moved on first, even before we ended. I could feel your heart drifting every time you pretended. Your words still sounded loving, but your actions felt far away. And I kept trying to hold together what was breaking every day. I stayed awake beside you, feeling lonelier than alone. 'Cause the hardest kind of distance is when someone's there but gone. I was still loving completely while you slowly detached from me. You moved on first, before the final goodbye, before the last conversation, before the tears in my eyes. I was still building forever while you already let go. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is finding out too late you were grieving us before I even knew. I made excuses for your silence, for every colder touch, turned every tiny breadcrumb into feeling loved enough. I kept shrinking what I needed, trying not to push too hard, till I forgot what healthy love was supposed to feel like in my heart. You stopped seeing me as home long before you walked away, and I kept chasing old feelings that no longer wanted to stay. I stayed loyal to the memories while you created distance quietly. You moved on first, before the final goodbye, before the last conversation, before the tears in my eyes. I was still building forever while you already let go. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is finding out too late you were grieving us before I even knew. Maybe that's why you looked peaceful when everything finally ended, because your heart had already healed while mine was just beginning to break. And maybe what still hurts the most is knowing I fought for someone who had emotionally left me a long time ago. You moved on first, but now I finally understand. Real love doesn't slowly disappear without reaching for your hand. Now I know my heart deserves someone who stays emotionally true. And the strongest thing I've ever learned is stop begging for closeness from someone already gone in spirit. You moved on first while I was still loving you. I was easy to lose, at least it seemed that way to you. You walked away so calmly, like breaking me was easy to do. I stayed awake for nights, trying to understand how someone who once loved me deeply could could let go without shaking hands. I carried every memory like they still meant something true, while you moved on so easily, like we were already through. I was fighting to keep us alive, while you stopped trying at all. I was easy to lose, but losing you destroyed me. You left like it was nothing, while my whole world fell quietly. I gave you every honest part, you gave me less with time. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is realizing you meant forever to someone who only meant for now. I kept replaying conversations, searching for where love changed, trying to find the exact moment your heart walked away. I blame myself for everything, for every silence, every scar. Like maybe if I loved you better, you wouldn't have gone so far. But hearts don't stay from pressure, and love can't survive alone. No matter how deeply one person cares, if the other already let go, I stay loyal to forever, while you quietly gave up on us. I was easy to lose, but losing you destroyed me. You left like it was nothing, while my whole world fell quietly. I gave you every honest part, you gave me less with time. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is realizing you meant forever to someone who only meant for now. Maybe some people heal quickly because they detached long ago, while others carry the heartbreak long after goodbye was spoken low. And maybe what still hurts the most is not that you left me behind, it's how easily you did it without looking back one time. I was easy to lose, but now I finally know real love doesn't make someone feel disposable and alone. Now I know my heart deserves someone who stays true. And the strongest thing I've ever learned is never measure your worth by someone who failed to value you. I was easy to lose, but you were hard to forget. I knew you'd leave, even while you held me close. There was always something fragile in the way you loved me most. Like your heart was halfway somewhere, even when you said my name. And I kept trying not to notice how your feelings slowly changed. I loved you like forever, you love me like right now. And Somehow I still believed we would work it out somehow. My heart saw the ending before my mind could accept it. I knew you'd leave, but I still let you in. Still gave you every broken part hidden underneath my skin. I stayed even through the distance, even through the doubts I knew. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is sometimes you see it coming, but still can't stop loving them. I memorize your silences, your colder way of touch, the nights you stop saying I love you like you truly meant it much. I made excuses for your absence, called your distance just a phase, but quietly my soul was breaking, watching your love fade away. You became harder to reach, like smoke inside my hands, and I kept trying to hold together something already ending. I was still dreaming about forever while you were slowly walking out. I knew you'd leave, but I still let you in. Still gave you every broken part hidden underneath my skin. I stayed even through the distance, even through the doubts I knew. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is sometimes you see it coming, but still can't stop loving them. Maybe love makes people blind to truths they already feel. Maybe hope becomes a reason to ignore what's actually real. And maybe what still hurts the most is not that you went away, it's how deeply I loved you, even knowing you might not stay. I knew you'd leave, but now I finally see love should never make someone feel afraid of being abandoned constantly. Now I know real love feels safe, it doesn't slowly disappear. And the strongest thing I've ever learned is never lose yourself. Trying to keep someone near, I knew you'd leave, and I loved you anyway. You stopped choosing me in the smallest little ways. Stopped asking if I made it home. Stopped caring how my day changed. You stopped reaching for my hand like it was something natural before. And I kept standing at the same door, waiting for your love once more. I noticed every quiet difference, every colder touch at night, but I kept telling my heart everything would be alright. I stayed committed to forever, while you slowly changed your mind. You stopped choosing choosing me. Long before you said goodbye, I saw it in your silence and the distance in your eyes. I kept trying to hold us together while you quietly let us fall. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is watching someone stop choosing you after once choosing you for everything. I made excuses for your absence, for every unread text, turned your fading love into stress, just so I wouldn't break it. I kept shrinking what I needed, trying not to ask for much, till I forgot what love should feel like without begging for a touch. You stayed because it was familiar, not because your heart was sure. And I kept loving harder, thinking love alone could cure. I was still planning forever while you were planning escape. You stopped choosing me long before you said goodbye. I saw it in your silence and the distance in your eyes. I kept trying to hold us together while you quietly let us fall. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is watching someone stop choosing you after once choosing you for everything. Maybe love dies quietly, one ignored feeling at a time. Maybe people leave emotionally before they physically say goodbye. And maybe what still hurts the most is knowing I stayed true while you slowly became someone who no longer chose me too. You stopped choosing me, but now I finally understand. Real love keeps showing up, it doesn't disappear without a plan. Now I know my heart deserves someone who stays completely. And the strongest thing I've ever learned is never beg for love from someone already letting go. You stopped choosing me while I never stopped choosing you.
You fell out of love so quietly I barely knew. One day your heart was holding mine, the next it was slipping through. You still kissed me in the morning, still slept beside my side. Something in the way you touched me no longer felt alive. I kept blaming bad timing, stress, distance, all the pain, anything but the truth that your feelings had changed. I was still loving deeply while your watching love disappear right before your eyes. I noticed every little difference, every colder reply, every moment your eyes stopped looking at me like home at night. I kept holding on to memories like they could bring you back, but you can't rebuild forever when one heart already packed. You stayed from habit, not feeling, and I stayed because I care. That's the tragedy of heartbreak, two people hurting differently then. I was fighting for tomorrow while you quietly let go. You fell out of love while I fell deeper in. I kept trying to save us while you stopped trying again. You slowly turned into someone I no longer recognized. And the cruelest thing about heartbreak is watching love disappear right before your eyes. Maybe people don't mean to change, maybe hearts just drift apart, but knowing that still doesn't heal the emptiness you left in my heart. And maybe what still hurts the most is not just losing you, it's remembering how beautiful your love used to feel too. You fell out of love, but I'm learning how to rise from the ruins of a forever I once saw in your eyes. Now I know real love stays honest, it doesn't slowly fade away, and the strongest thing